Hi everyone, welcome back to week 26 of my No Buy year. Today, I'm going to talk about how I decluttered my YouTube subscriptions. So I mean this video and everything I say in it with the utmost respect. I don't mean to throw shade at anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not trying to complain, all right? Even though most of what I'm going to say next might sound like complaining. So with that disclaimer out of the way, I wanted to talk a little bit about how I had to stop watching some of my favorite creators and the advice and ideas that I got from their content, the entertainment value, started to not be worth the advertising that it exposed me to. So backstory here, I love watching YouTube. I kind of had a period with TikTok as well, but it was more obvious to me that that was creating problems with my consumerism and influencing me to buy and want stuff because I would see so many things flash across my screen. So I dipped my foot in and stepped back out pretty quick. The only presence I have on TikTok now is as a musician. And I actually don't even post there much anymore. I'm gonna try to get back into it as part of my personal productivity goals, but that is kind of where I'm at with social media. I'm a YouTube consumer. I love the long form. I tend to watch videos for entertainment and company while I'm doing household chores that I don't love doing, you know, dishes, cleaning my kitchen. Maybe you do the same with me. I would love that. So anyway, entertainment ideas, company, community, all the things that I got from YouTube. And I'm very grateful for the company, the things I learned, the things that were shared, sometimes even the products that I discovered, but it became too much of a focus for some of the channels that I watch. And I guess that's what I'm going to talk about now, is how I had to step back. To be honest, I still do love watching YouTube, and I can't promise that I'll never watch the creators I'm kind of complaining about now ever again or have unsubscribed from, but it's just things that I'm noticing lately and things that make all the benefits, you know, the advice, entertainment, company, living vicariously through others, it's just not worth it all the time anymore. I have also been increasingly interested in channels that are critiquing consumerism culture, and I share a lot of ideas with these channels too. So like I feel the relatability there now even more than I did before, and maybe that connection is kind of decreasing my relatability with other creators, you know, style creators, minimalism creators, other forms of influencing. So I'm still very much in the YouTube world. I'm just kind of shifting, right? And I think shifts like this are natural. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, and when the student is done, the teacher can go do something else, right? Anyway, being on a no-buy year where I'm not able to buy products has really, I guess, pulled the wool off of my eyes. And seeing sponsorships, seeing people who recommend products all the time, seeing this content that's focused on trying new things, buying new things, finding the best versions of things, I'm not as attracted to that anymore. And I'm not attracted to people talking about that anymore either, because now I'm not able to partake. And I also see it, you know, I'm removed now. So I see people recommending things that people don't really need to replace or don't really need to buy or don't really need to consume. And it starts to bother me more and more. You know, it's almost like the whole drinking the Kool-Aid analogy, right? When I was drinking the Kool-Aid, it was all good. I was part of the party. And now I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, I guess even alcohol is a good metaphor here. Like if you're somebody who doesn't drink and you're at a party where everybody's drinking, like it's just not going to be the same experience. And it's not to say that people shouldn't do that or that even I don't enjoy that occasionally. But now, this year, I am not drinking the Kool-Aid. So being at a party where everybody's drinking Kool-Aid is just not the same level of fun. So I'm going to go find some different parties. Now, I wanted to talk about a couple of last straw moments I had with some channels. And in doing so, I'm probably going to reveal the channels that they are, even if I don't say the creators' names. So please don't take it as personal criticism of these people. Please don't take it as negative. Like, I'm just sharing my experience with the content that I saw. There's a creator, like a family minimalism creator, who's been sharing the sponsorship for a bed company for months, it feels like. Every other video feels like it's sponsored by the same company, and I don't want to hear about it anymore, first of all. Second of all, like, I question the need of such repeated sponsorships. I appreciate the fact that it's a product that people do legitimately need. People need beds. However, I thought a mattress was something that you replace every 10 years, right? So how many of the audience legitimately need to replace a mattress now? And then like after they've replaced it, do they really need to see the ad again? So I just question the marketing strategy of the company, not the creator, because I'm sure the company is telling her how often to feature. I am just getting tired of watching that. And I question whether it's making people replace things that don't actually need replacing right now. Even if the ad itself is not necessarily predatory because it's a legitimate need, it's not like a manufactured need that nobody needs. I just am starting to feel uncomfortable with it. The other thing is that one of their latest videos was on organizational products. And I have a mixed relationship with this because this creator is very open about how people influence people to buy things all the time. And a lot of times you don't really need this, right? Her focus has been on minimalism and decreasing the stuff in your house so that you don't need all the organizers all the time. And you can have simpler organizing solutions because there's not as much stuff to deal with, not as much inventory to manage. And I love that terminology of inventory to manage. And there's so many valuable ideas that I've gotten from watching this creator. And like I said, I don't know that I'm going to stop watching, but I definitely had some alarm bells go off in my own mind when I was watching this latest video because there were so many products and so many products that in my mind were fulfilling manufactured needs, like needs that are not really needs for anybody. They started off their video even by saying that they never thought they would do this and proceeded to decant all of their spices into uniform jars, right? The same glass jar with a little label on it. And this bothered me. This bothered me more than it should have, I'm sure. Because first of all, we're buying a product to fulfill a need that's already fulfilled when you buy the product in the first place, unless you're literally out buying bulk bags of spices. Second of all, if you are overwhelmed by seeing all the spice containers that are different, is it possible that you have too many in the first place or aren't using them enough to get through them? Or I don't know. I might come back to this a little bit later. Back to the latest video. I had the alarm bells going off because it felt like some kind of advertisement because of the focus on products and the type of products being things that aren't truly needed. So, okay, the spices. And then there was like this little acrylic plastic holder for garbage bags under the sink. Like nobody sees under the sink. I understand some people might really get tickled by having perfect organization solutions even under the sink, but I'm not one of those people. I don't know that it aligns with minimalist values. And again, like you do you, that creator can do them. No shade. This is just my personal reflection. I guess you can come for me if you want to. I won't even say don't come for me. Don't come for that creator. And I guess the other thing that this made me wonder is, are they selling me these products in any way, shape, or form? So I open up the description box and lo and behold, there it is, the Amazon store with all these products linked for purchase and I'm sure with affiliate kickback. And creators deserve to make their money. I'm not saying that they're wrong for doing this. And again, I'm coming back to this on the last video of this week, I think. I do really think that this creator was coming from a good place and really tries to have the best interests of her audience in mind. But there were quite a few products in this video, you know, shoe racks, a magnetic lint bin for your dryer, you know, other holders for dryer balls and other household items. I just don't know if these are real needs or needs that develop because we're hyper-focused on our stuff. It's just become too much for me. There was even like a phone charger that plugged into your outlet and had a little shelf on top so that your phone wasn't sitting on the counter. I don't know that we need to be that organized or that aesthetically pleasing, or, I mean, it's certainly not in my house. We're not going to do that. And again, I have no problems with people living their lives how they want to. It was just something about seeing this on this channel where I previously went to get advice on minimizing my stuff. And all of a sudden there was this video on accumulating more stuff with a goal in mind, yes. But I have changed and therefore now I view this in a new way. So like I said, I think yesterday, my claim to minimalism and values is not by buying the acrylic shoe racks for my shelves. It's by having the goal of eventually having less shoes so that I don't need to stack them on my shelves. And again, every situation is different. Some people have more people in their house and smaller spaces and will need these solutions in a more legitimate way. It's not a critique on the needs of other people, the wants of other people, how people want to organize their houses. So I'm treading on thin ice here, I feel like, but this is all just my new approach, my new way of seeing these things that made me question whether or not this person's content is still for me. And it's not their job to create content for me, right? They will be fine if I stop watching. I'm not trying to say that everybody needs to create content for me and I'm all high and mighty. This is reflection. Okay, moving on to the second creator where I had a last straw moment recently. This person released a video lately that was a vlog. And I guess backstory here, I have watched this person's content for years. They've gone on a journey of debt repayment and financial freedom and kind of minimalism and no-buy as well. So all things that I resonate very deeply with. They were kind of relatable. They had a regular job as a pharmacist, and it was like, okay, like they're a normal person who is doing this as a side hustle and to share ideas and, you know, kind of like I'm doing now. I'm not motivated by side hustling here. I'm just sharing my ideas and kind of making a space for online therapy, not licensed therapy. Don't cancel me. Man, this video. Okay. So this person's latest video was a vlog, and more, their content has always featured some kind of ad. All of the styling videos have some kind of new company that's sharing clothes, a new purse brand, a new collation of designers, or whatever it might be. It's all interesting, but it's a little much. It feels a little disingenuous. It feels like there's no content that comes from a place of not being paid from an ulterior source, like exterior or external from the actual video. So I open up this vlog and I think, okay, this might be nice, but I bet there's going to be a sponsor somewhere in here. Is it going to be a clothing company? Is it going to be AG1? What is it going to be? And lo and behold, sponsored by Cotton. And part of the vlog was taking us to the Cotton store. And I just knew it. I knew it before I opened the video, but there wasn't an ad in the title, right? You have to open the description and it says sponsored, you know, okay, it's there, it's disclosed, but it's not in the title before you click. And I guess that is part of the problem I'm starting to have with paid content, paid sponsorships, ads. I just think people might want to have or need to have or ethically should have the option of knowing that that's what they're going to be exposed to before they click the video and not after they click and open the description. Okay, we can start clicking and pausing, opening the description, and then preparing ourselves for the ad that's going to onslaught our eyeballs. But it's not intuitive or easy like that. Whereas if there is like an ad warning in the title, then you kind of know like, okay, I click on this, you've been paid to create this content by an external source. It's not just my ad views, it's somebody else who's prompted you to make this video and possibly reviewed it and approved it. So anyway, I just had a little bit of a moment of cringe when it was like, I knew that this off-the-cuff vlog, like non-programmed video would still probably have a sponsor, and I was proven right. I was hoping I was wrong, but I was proven right. I just didn't know what it would be before it showed up. So would it be Songmont or AG1 or some kind of financial app? And you know, there we go. There it was. The other kicker was that earlier in the video, the vlog, the same video, this creator was complaining about starting to feel overwhelmed by how much stuff they had because they got sent a lot of stuff and they didn't accept most of the PR, mind you, but it was starting to be too much. And I actually have to wonder, is there any room for shopping in this creator's life? Because they could get by with never actively searching for things themselves, it seems like, based on the amount of stuff they get sent for free. So like, do they ever get to shop anymore? And that kind of seems like a sad thing for somebody who seems to like shopping or gets enjoyment out of that process. And I guess the other thought I had is, you know, here's another creator kind of complaining about having too much stuff where they get this stuff for free. It's not even a case of them having a shopping problem anymore and spending their own money and accumulating stuff and having to deal with the consequences. Like, oh, I have too much stuff that people gave me as gifts, that people gave me and paid me to talk about. Like, now I have to declutter the stuff that made me money. Like, it just left a bad taste in my mouth, honestly. And it's contributing to that influencer cycle of PR, sponsorship, accumulating stuff, coming in, selling it, kind of like not selling directly, but like recommending it to viewers, and then decluttering it. It's like the cycle again. It comes in, it comes out, and now like we see the declutters too. They make it as content a lot of the time, and then we're like, ooh, I can declutter my stuff and make room to buy more with my own money and shopping. It's not sent to me for free, so therefore like it fuels my shopping problem and gives me an out for when I accumulate too much stuff. I can just declutter it. It's fine. And like I said, this person did do a series of getting out of debt and trying to be financially responsible. And, you know, taking advantage of financial opportunities is a part of that. And that means ads and sponsorships for somebody making content online. You make your money, girl. Like, you must be making bank, not only as somebody with a career in medicine in a way, as a pharmacist, and then however many thousands of dollars each ad or sponsorship pays you. Go get it. You do you. You're successful. You're going to be successful even if I don't watch. This is just a drop in the bucket of, you know, the industry of online influencing. But again, it's just my personal reflection. I still like this person. They seem very nice. Both of these creators with my last straw moments seem like very nice people. It's not personal. It's all what's going on in my brain as I've changed my habits and behaviors this year. You know, I'm really just trying to state facts and my feelings. The other questions I have is like, what kind of society are we in when a high income earner, you know, pharmacists, doctors, nurses, I mean, maybe they're not high income earners, but they have valuable jobs. They would rather pivot to online content creation than do a job that has such undeniable value of, you know, helping people in healthcare. I mean, the value might not be as much in the money, but the value is in the good that you do in the world and in people's direct lives. And I know some arguments can be made for doing good in people's lives online. And a lot of these big creators actually say like, oh, the most meaningful thing is when you tell me a video has changed your life. And I get it. Like we all want to have impact on people in a positive way. And it's not really about the money, because money is not going to make us happy or fulfilled. But it just doesn't really look like that all the time on the surface, right? You gave up a career as a doctor. Not talking about the same creator now. There's another creator I have in mind now. Like you gave up a career as a doctor to start making content online that might help other people, sure. But like it's not as direct. And it does make you much, much, much more money. I just am struggling to navigate that myself. And again, if I have influencers in my audience who get sponsorships, PR, make their money online, no hate, no judgment. I am just beginning my own journey of online presence. And I do have a monetized YouTube channel, ad monetized, right? To this day, I think I've actually made like $130 or something, which, you know, not that much. It's not going to pay the bills, but like I am earning money from online content and viewers being here as well. So like I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here, and I'm not trying to judge, and I'm not trying to be inflammatory or insulting or anything. So like, again, I'm a little nervous about posting this video, but I think my bottom line point is that I am changing, and in changing my own habits of consumerism, it changes how I see content presented online. That's the bottom line. That's the thesis. The rest of this was just personal examples. I think the other thing that bothered me about these two specific channels is that they have a focus on minimalism. Both of them have a kind of little tagline on something about minimalism. I just don't know if the behavior of presenting products to viewers is encouraging of that idea of minimalism. So like, it's almost like I sense a little bit of hypocrisy in the content versus the ethos, the ideas. It could be just a problem of me not being the right demographic anymore for this content. I also don't travel or need to pack a suitcase, or, you know, there are many videos that I choose to watch that I don't need to watch, and that is on me. I have the ability to not watch these things. Nobody's making me click on a video. Nobody's making me follow these people. So anyway, those are the recent examples. I have some previous examples that I've already stepped away from. Other channels that have become kind of obsessive about certain brands and products, even though they're high quality, sustainable, like the levels of how they would talk about these things would influence me to buy way too much rather than think consciously about my own behavior. There are channels that have received food services so often and promote those so often. I've never done any meal kits or anything like that, but like just the amount of waste they generate and just the logistical nightmare that it feels like shipping individual boxes of food to households, like just go to the grocery store. Like, it just feels so wasteful to me. It gives me an uncomfortable feeling. And then like there are the people that become faces of ad campaigns like BetterHelp and Kohl's and stuff. Like I see these creators being used in the company ads. And it's like, oh, now I'm seeing you pop up on my screen, not even in your own content, but in the content of a big company. And it's just kind of giving me the ick a little bit. And then years ago, I even used to consume content that was more geared towards the Amazon must-haves, blatantly shopping videos, like showing you things that you probably don't need, but maybe you want, like just for fun. I used to consume that too. All of this is kind of a testimony to my journey. All right, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. So I used to watch anything and everything, all the beauty gurus, all the Amazon must-have gurus, all the TikTok made me buy it people. And I'm just slowly shifting my focus and perspective to the point where even the minimalism focused creators have red flags going up in my mind of there's a lot of consumerism happening here. I've learned to examine my habit of watching YouTube, watching these influencers, and to choose the content that I click on more carefully and really evaluate, is what I'm going to get from this video worth the possibility of sponsorships, ads, consumerism kind of being presented to my eyeballs? Is it worth it? Has this creator turned to the dark side as far as more of their content being sponsored than not? Maybe this is a creator where I won't have to navigate through so many ads, and that makes them even more worth watching. A creator that I do really love, Leena Norms, had a song that she shared, I think, in a video about news, about when your input exceeds your output. And I think that's a problem I had before, where I was consuming so much content and stuff, I was buying stuff, but my input was exceeding the things I was doing in the world, the projects I had, the things that I was focusing on. And that's kind of where, like I said, it's a me problem. And it was choices I was making. So I am changing my choices. I am seeing these things differently. I am choosing to be wiser. I've heard that saying where you are the common denominator between the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? If I apply that to influencers and the things that I fill my brain with, who am I watching? And what would I look like if I take the top 5? You know, what are my values? What is reflected in my choices there? And am I happy with that? I actually had a list of my favorite YouTubers that I seem to have misplaced. So I will maybe rattle off a few names here to inject some positivity, I guess. I like Leena Norms. I have already talked about Louise Poston, although I have had to start being careful with her content that sometimes makes me want to buy things. I've already mentioned Shawna Ripari. I love her critiques of consumer culture and social Symone. She has a personality that I love as well. She's fun. I consume a lot of music content too, so Twoset Violin, Beato, RoomieOfficial, they just have fun, like pop culture oriented content. It might totally be the wrong niche for my audience, so again, I'm just sharing. I want to be the denominator of things that are related to me, right? I also like Karolina Żebrowska. Again, I'm sorry about mispronouncing your name. And Reardon from How to Cook That. I love how she presents her content as well. Shelbizleee, I've also mentioned her eco-friendly journey. I think maybe that's enough for now. It's definitely more than 5. These are creators I still feel comfortable being associated with if I'm going to be the common denominator among those people or what they present online. Obviously, I don't know the people in real life. Okay. I think I might have done enough damage in this video, sharing why I had to stop watching, kind of indirectly who I had to stop watching, and when the advice is not worth the ads anymore. And I think I will leave this one there before I say anything that's gonna get me canceled. All right, bye for now, and I will see you tomorrow.